This will have you spitting out your tea on a Saturday night. The Office for Budget Responsibility, boffins in thick glasses who crunch the numbers, in other words, are predicting the BBC licence fee will rise to just shy of £200 within the next 5 years. Who's got that kind of money? But if you own a telly, you literally won't be able to plug it in unless you cough up the cash. Old grannies struggling to put food on the table and heat their homes, reliant on TV for company, will be threatened with jail just to keep Gary Lineker in gold cufflinks. Whether or not you think an obligatory tax for the privilege of watching your telly is acceptable, the licence fee itself looks likely to self-implode anyway. Why? Technology. In its latest annual report, the Beeb revealed that the number of people paying the licence fee has dropped by 500,000 in the last year. Because if they're watching on an iPad, a computer or their phone, or even via a smart box connected to their TV, as long as they don't fire up the iPlayer app, they don't have to pay a penny. If you take that figure of 500,000 lost viewers in just a year and project that over a decade, that's 5 million people not invested in the national state broadcaster. At which point, can it even call itself the British Broadcasting Corporation? The Beeb is fast becoming a service only a portion of the population is paying for, watching or listening to. And why would that be? Well, apart from irritation at being shaken down for just a bit under 160 quid to pay their biggest stars and senior management millions, so much of the output is finger-wagging, politically correct drivel. Woke storylines about gender ideology in Casualty, pro-vaccine propaganda in EastEnders, right-on comedy that no one watches anymore on Live at the Apollo, and shows like Doctor Who, which are so full of progressive PC nonsense they've been rendered unwatchable. Even the Daleks aren't as terrifying as some of their storylines. The news operation isn't much better, with the Beeb having taken weeks to decide that a group that beheads babies, rapes women and burns people alive are terrorists. When asked whether Hamas were responsible for an arsenal of weapons strategically stored in a Gaza hospital, their Foreign Affairs reporter Jeremy Bowen, who appears to have completely lost the plot, speculated this may not be Hamas and that lots of hospitals are equipped with weapons. Interesting. I'll have a look out for some Kalashnikovs next time I go to A&E with a swollen finger. This is an organisation that offered one-note pandemic coverage, not offering even the slightest debate about whether lockdowns might be a terrible mistake or whether jabbing absolutely everyone was necessary. There's also a strong perception that the organisation was anti-Brexit, holding its nose occasionally to let Nigel Farage go on Question Time for, balance. The BBC complained that their revenue in the last year, thanks to the thousands of people who'd rather watch Netflix or Disney Plus on their laptop, meant their licence fee income fell from 3.8 billion to, wait for it, 3.74 billion. 3.74 billion pounds, and they plead poverty, whilst paying one star on their exclusively digital radio station Six Music £500,000 a year to play records and say, here's Ed Sheeran. The talent aren't just wildly overpaid, they're out of control too. Look at Gary Lineker going on Twitter and linking the Rwanda policy to Nazi Germany. Still in a job, obviously. In the end, the BBC belongs to all of us, but sadly these days, it just doesn't feel that way. It feels like it belongs to the North London chattering classes, signed up to woke progressive politics. Smug, censorious and arrogant, this approach suffuses so much of their output, including the Radio 4 Today programme, which has lost 2 million listeners in the last 3 years. Ultimately, the BBC licence fee is no longer fit for this world. Even their legendary former presenter John Humphrys said it's got to go. Until our national broadcaster creates radio, online and television output for the whole country, and does so on a far more sensible budget with a fairer way of paying for it, it's on borrowed time. Populated by pointless celebrities and not enough masterminds, the BBC is fast becoming Britain's weakest link.